Welcome back to the Gridiron Report with David Wright. So I wanted to come on here and go over our starting offense projected as far as without any big moves left. Okay. So we're gonna start with the quarterback room. So we got Jaden Daniels, Marcus Mariota, and we're thinking that it'll be AK. That would be our projected that we're guessing as of right now. So we'll move over to our running back room where we'll see Bill, Rashard White, Katron Allen, and McNichols. And I've made this point to y'all before, and it's the strength of this room is in their yards per carry. Like, they all do something a little different, but in the overall, Bill's a 4.6, Richard's like a 4.3, Katron in college was a five flat, and McNichols is a 4.62. And McNichols gives you something that most running backs don't. Somehow, some way, he turns a third and you need 9, and somehow he gets you 11 yards. He's one of the best at doing it. So, this is probably my favorite room. I think it'll be the strength of our team. I believe we know this offense is carried through the running back room, and each one of our guys does something a little bit different, but they all produce at a high level per carry, and that is as strong as it gets. Yeah, it would be awesome to have a Saquon Barkley or someone up there too, but I'm extremely happy with this room. So we're going to go ahead and hit this wide receiver room. Now with this room, I'm adding everybody because I believe past our top 3, there will be a pretty heavy rotation of players coming in and out. So we're going to start with the GOAT, Terry. Scary Terry is our number one. But we do have 2 number ones at this point. And number 2 would be Stephon Diggs. Now, this is how I feel about Antonio Williams. I think by game 6, 7, or 8, we could be actually presenting on the field 3 number 1 receivers because I do believe Antonio Williams has every bit of the skill to become. Now, could it take him a year? Absolutely. I don't think it will. I think he's one of these ones, and I'm not comparing him to these proven players, but I'm saying he's one of these ones like Puka Nakua or Jackson uh, Smith. I hate that name. Anyway, sorry, I don't hate your name, but it's hard to say for me. I think he's going to be one of these receivers that pops right away. It doesn't take him time. You see really, really unique body control from him, even at practice where he's catching in weird positions. There's no bobble of the ball. He's a really polished player. Give me just 1 second. So you're seeing a really crisp, um, and he's doing things with his body that it's not quite normal. You see very few receivers, even the great ones, come out with that kind of body control. Um, I think he'll be an immediate pop. Think we could be presenting three number ones on the field by mid-season. And if so, holy crap. So behind Williams, we have Luke McCaffrey, Traylon Burks, De'Ami Brown, and Jalen Lane. That's a 7 in the room, and that's what I'm predicting they keep. Um, De'Ami Brown's never produced much of nothing. Jalen Lane is not a real receiver yet, but boy, is he important on our special teams. He's important to our team. Don't get it wrong. He's just not a real receiver yet. He's just gonna have to keep working on them jugs and get them hands right. Luke is starting to take over things and he's starting to pop steadily. I do believe he's number 4. I know a lot of people are stuck on Traylon Burks, but man, you are discounting the blood in this Luke McCaffrey dude. That's championship blood. That's Ed McCaffrey's son. That's Christian McCaffrey's brother. That guy right there has a higher relative athletic score than Christian McCaffrey. And now he's going into his 5th year as a wide receiver, and he's really starting to take over training camps. He's shining constantly. I think we're about to see one hell of a pop from Luke. So I put Traylon Burks behind him. Not that I don't think Traylon Burks has a chance to pop heavy too, but I don't trust his health. And you shouldn't. He's never played more than 11 games. He's not proven to be able to stay healthy. So let's hope he does. That would be amazing. But either way, with a rotation of De'Ami, even a small dose of Lane, Traylon Burks, and Luke McCaffrey, that is really good backups, especially since I believe we're going to be presenting 3 number 1 receivers. So let's move on to the tight end room real quick. And we'll go with our number 1 tight end. And we haven't had a tight end like this since Jordan Reed. Except for this guy seems to stay healthy. And he's very, very willing to play in all facets, no matter what the rumors are. He's a willing blocker. He's one hell of a catch and yak guy. And a lot of the slights on him to begin with when we first got him was unwarranted. So Chig is a very, very, very good player, and he got a lot of dog in him. That is going to be fun to watch. You've seen him with subpar quarterback play, and he put up numbers. I don't have it right offhand, but I think it was like 7. Chig is going to hit 1,000 yards this year. In a system like this where Jaden loves a tight end, Chig is hitting 1,000 yards. So with our next tight end, that would be Mr. John Bates. Now, he is our blocking tight end, and he is one of the best that does it in the league. We have also seen him bring down a few passes for us here, there, yonder. But as far as needing Bates as a receiver, I don't think that's going to be needed this year much at all. Because the next guy, I think we're actually going to see show some of his worth from our draft pick, and that is Ben Sinnott. So Ben Sinnott, I do believe, was a bad product of Cliff Kingsbury's system. I think he suffered because of it. I don't think he is what we've seen. And we've seen it in training camp OTAs. He's shining. He's going up for the ball. He's bringing it down. Now, we don't need this man to be a 1,000-yard tight end, but if we could get 400 yards out of Ben Sinnott or 500, and the defense has to address him at all, because when you address someone like Ben Sinnott, he's a freaking tank. So you have to bring the defense over a little bit to account for if it does go to him, you're not taking him down with your first guy. You need to be able to come over with another guy and take him down. We've seen it over and over again. He is a massive tank once he has the ball in his hands. So Ben Sinnott just getting it to where he's an actual threat, even if he's not a first, second, or even third option, will open up Chig so much and help get him to that 1,000-yard. I think Ben Sinnott is extremely important this year. Now let's get to a hot topic. I'm going to read these out the way we think that this is going to play out unless we bring someone else in. Now, I want to caveat that with I'm cool with Brandon Coleman. For all those that are going to be like, yeah, it's LT, man. I know who it is. I know how big of a loss he is. Y'all ain't geniuses from telling me what I already know. But you can lay down, cry like a little bitch, or you come up with a solution and we still go win this shit. So quit crying and let's do this. Okay. Brandon Coleman is definitely not LT, but he did go to the NFC Championship with us. Now, we did have to throw him more help at that point in time. Now he has 2 years under his belt. And when we moved him over and let him do some left tackle last year, he was really good. Like, his pressures were a little bit of nothing, no sacks allowed. Now, I'm not saying at all, because I know you Debbie Downers are going to be like, but he's not LT, and oh my God. We know he's not. But you know what else is not? How many teams make the playoffs? 14? You know how many of them teams don't have a top 5 left tackle? At least 10. Can we please calm down? Brandon Coleman can be a serviceable left tackle, just like he was in 2024, but better, because now he has some experience under his belt. We'll throw him some chips and we will help him out, and he will be just fine. Now, remember, there was some down with Brandon Coleman, but this is a guy that held Myles Garrett and Trey Henderson. Myles Garrett had a 0 on his stats, and Trey Henderson got put in the ground. This was a rookie. So now we got 2 years of experience, and we saw last year a good return. Now, Laramie Tunsil, please get well fast and come back. Yes, we definitely want Laramie Tunsil on the field, guys. So no one's saying we don't. But with Brandon Coleman's athletic ability, and those who hate on him ain't going to remember, but he's very athletic. He's fast. He can get up into the second and third levels. He can help push and pull with this run game. So if we can get what we got out of him, and I think we can get better in 2024, this is a serviceable plug player, and I think we'll be okay. However, there is Decker on the market. And Adam may decide to go get him so we still have depth as we go into the year, especially since we just lost our top two left tackle to a silly injury in a normal everyday practice. And all you morons blaming Adam, Dan Quinn, Odape, you can get the hell off of Odape. That man's going to take us a long way this year. Shut the hell up. You people are morons. Quit blaming other people for bad luck. This is football. It is a violent sport. I guess you're the kind of people that if your kid comes home with a black eye, but he's in fucking boxing, you get pissed. Please sit down and shut up. This stuff happens. We're looking for the best case scenario, which is that we get him back 9 to 12 weeks. And think of it this way, even if it's longer, say 4 months, 16 weeks. We already started that timeline. And we still have another month. So we would technically probably get him back about 3 months into the season. It's not the greatest news, but I made a point that we're uniquely built to survive this kind of injury. And the reason is you tell me another team that has an all-pro top two left tackle on their roster, a number one draft pick left tackle that has 1 year under his belt, and technically another left tackle that played a whole year in the spot and went to the NFC Championship and has that experience in his belt. You tell me another damn team that has that on their roster, and then tell me where I come up with this stuff and how I'm saying we're uniquely built to survive it. All right. So then we will see Chris Paul, Nick Allegretti, Sam Cosby, and Josh Connerly. Dude, I got no problem with this lineup. I really don't. I would like to have just a tiny bit more depth at center. And as far as Decker, I wouldn't mind seeing him brought in and let Brandon and Decker battle for this. So I'd still have that kind of depth until LT got back. But if this is our starting lineup and we stay healthy, I really got no gripes with that. And I don't understand someone that would. Could we be better? Yeah. But so many teams are going to get to the playoffs with worse. Y'all are broken. That fuck that owned us for all them years, he gave y'all some PTSD shit going on. And when little things, LT's injury is not little, but when one thing happens, the world's over and the season's over. Dude, the 49ers lose their whole damn team every year, and you never see them act like that. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Can we woosah? Can we just calm down? Let's see what we're presenting. We're going to see it against Miami. We're going to see it against the Ravens. And then we're going to see it in the preseason games. And we'll get more of an idea of what our schemes are kind of going to look like. And then we'll present this team. But those who think that Dallas and Philly and the Giants are going to be so much better than we are, especially with Philly and Dallas, you're extremely wrong. More importantly, they got issues that everyone's overlooking in the media with quite a few spots on the Eagles and Dallas. And the Giants are behind us in the build at that. So everybody take a breath. I'm gonna tell you who the NFC champions are for the 2026 season. I took out my glass ball a while ago and I just smoked up, and it was like Washington Commanders. Let's go get it, baby. Thank you for joining me on the Gridiron Report with David Wright. I hope y'all have enjoyed this episode, and let me know what you think about each of these rooms. What's your favorite? And is your panic level between 1 and 10? What is it on the line? Me, I'm good. I feel comfortable. So I think we're going to win the NFC East. And I think there's a lot of over exaggeration for one single guy, even though that's the second most important spot. Because we're uniquely have depth there, I think we'll be just fine. What y'all think about it? Please comment down below. Like, share, subscribe. I thank y'all for joining me. I'll see y'all next time.